Welcome to the fish tank.
Hey everybody, Fishman here. Normally I leave out me assembling the boxes and most of the acrylic stuff these days because you've seen lots of it. But I thought I'd leave this particular clip in because I want to show you how quick and easy it is to do. And the reason for that is I'm hoping that someone might be encouraged to try this out, because this is a very straightforward and easy starter project. If you haven't worked with acrylic, this is a perfect one for that, because the glue joints actually don't really matter that much whether they're watertight or not. So, I mean, it's going to be sitting in the aquarium, it's going to be fully immersed, and it's a very straightforward box build. And like I said, it's a good one to start off with. And like I said, it's very straightforward and very quick. I think it took like 2.5, 3 minutes to make. So I put two of these together. I don't normally use acrylic for this. The only reason for doing it in this particular case is because I want to leave the sides clear, just in case there is a different amount of root growth and that sort of stuff, so I want that kind of be visible. And normally what I use is those terracotta plant trays, like the plant pot trays, and they're perfect height and everything, and I usually start my stuff in there. Now this is cryptocrene Wentai, I think, and the reason I'm showing you this is I start a lot of plants and I keep a lot of them here simply so that I can pop them in aquariums, and that is grown completely in just gravel. There's no fertilizer added, no nothing. It's just grown in gravel. It is a very easy plant to grow, I admit that. But what I want to do here is I want to try a different plant. Not really a hard plant, it's just going to be Vallisneria, but it's going to be one that I haven't tried growing in dirt before. So I thought maybe it would be an interesting one to do. And also, it's going to spread quite nicely. I mean, so does the cryptocrene. But like I said, that one grows so well in any kind of conditions that I think it would be very difficult to tell if there's an added benefit to having the dirt there or not. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start off, and I'm going to, this is old gravel, one I pulled out of an aquarium where a client wanted something different to look at. So I pulled out the old gravel and put new stuff in. Right now I'm trying to get rid of the snails. Hopefully the snails' eggs that may be present have all dried up and they're going to hatch, because I don't really want a bunch of those in the tanks where these are going to go. So these are the two bunches. I just picked them up at my LFS. There's little difference between the two. Obviously the one near the top of the screen is a bit bigger. I decided to use that one in the gravel only, because I kind of think that maybe the dirted one should grow faster and better. So I gave this one a bit of an edge to see if they're going to catch up to each other. But anyway, I suppose what I should have done is unbundle both of them and then divide it up as evenly as possible. But I didn't really see the big difference between the two until I actually went to plant the second one. So I'm going to unwrap this, and very unceremoniously I'm just going to stick them in the dirt, in the gravel, and we're going to see, just going to put them in the aquarium. And I am going to film this the same way I did it when I was doing the LED plant growth experiments way back at the beginning of my YouTube career. So I'm going to do the same sort of thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to film it every week, and then in a few months from now, if there's enough of a difference, or it may take a little longer, I will put a quick video together and show you almost like a time lapse, but side-by-side comparison to show you how they're all doing. Now, originally I was thinking of putting them both in one tank, but these are going to go in the new rack system. And I find that I think I want a little extra filtration in them because they're bare bottomed. Well, anyway, I'll go into that detail later with when I start comparing the two systems. But for this, I just wanted to make sure I put a little bit of gravel to aid in the filtration for these tanks into each of them. So one's going to get, this one here, the middle tank is going to get the plain gravel one, and then the one next door is going to get the dirted one. Hopefully that won't mess up the experiment too much, but I think it should be fine. They both have fish in them. They've both been cycled. They both have fairly light like fish load. This one has a few extra snails, like the big mystery snails, the ones I got from D from down the wormhole. They're doing very well, D, by the way. They've, I think, tripled in size since I've got them from you. So anyway, this is going to be the dirted one. Now, the reason why I don't use dirt in any of my aquariums, like the displays I do for clients, first off, it's rare that I get someone who wants a big planted aquarium. And then when I do get them, I find most people want things to change from time to time. So they want me to pull stuff out, try new stuff, move stuff around. And with dirt, it will cloud the water a little bit every time I do that. And I've yet to have a client who thinks that, oh, don't worry, it'll settle down in a few days, is a good idea. They usually want it always to be clean and clear, pristine. And so this just adds an extra layer of work that I would have to do for, to keep things proper. The other thing is, lots of fish like to dig. Not just like geophagus or that sort of stuff. You can't have African cichlids, any sort of cichlid really, and a lot of other fish as well. I mean, you're pretty much restricted to kinds of fish like rainbows, non-diggers at all. And I do get, like I say, clients always trying to change their minds. And if I tell them that, no, you can't have it, no, you can't, no, you can't have this either, that's not usually a good idea. So, and I find, because they're not very picky about the particular types of plants they have, I find I can grow pretty much anything, like a lot of the easier stuff like crypts and Java ferns, Java mosses, and hornwort, and a bunch of other stuff, without dirt, that it's never really become necessary. But I really wanted to try this out. A lot of people have done dirted tank videos, and I just wanted to see how much of a difference there was. So again, the reason why I'm using Vallisneria is it's just a little bit harder to grow, and hopefully we'll get a bit of a difference between the two. So now that I've done this, what we're going to do here is just add some water. This is just the same tank water as it's going to go in. Now you see a little bit of dirt comes up, that's no big deal, I'll just rinse that off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them exactly the same way as the other ones. You'll notice when I do plant them that there is a bit of a difference in the size of the two different bundles that I had. Like I said, hopefully that will even out. Mostly because I wanted to catch up and take over, but then again, who knows? There may actually not even be much of a difference between the two. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to pull this off, plant them as exactly as before, and then I'm going to do is stick it in the other tank. The other tank has, if you remember back to when I was, I made the little breeder box, the one that had the trickle coming from one of the top tanks. I moved them into this tank after the tank cycle just to keep the fish going, keep the cycle going. There'll be more fish added to it later. There's a bunch of stuff I want to do with this system. And at the end of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the three tanks. I have, like I said, they've been up and running now for a little while, and it's really getting to the point now where I think I can start doing some of the maintenance for it to show you the difference between the two. And again, those videos will be coming up as well. So here I'm going to do, after they're planted like this, I'm just going to flow some water over the surface without disturbing the gravel too much, just to get rid of that little bit of dirt that got dug up. And then that should flow reasonably clear. And what I'm going to do tomorrow, or the day after this is done, is I'm going to do a water change on both those tanks just to try and keep everything reasonably the same. So there we go. This is the other tank. Those are those little baby platies that were in that tank. Obviously they've grown up quite well since then. And I got to move some snails aside so I don't squish them. And this is going to sit in here. So they both have the exact same lighting over them, and hopefully we'll see how this goes. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to leave you off with 2 clips of each of them. And also, these are the box filters I had made, the round one and the square one. And also I'm going to show you the airlift power filter as well. And there's a better picture of D's. Well, at least one of them anyway. They're all in there, Dee. Trust me. I didn't lose any of them. They're all doing really well. Those are her mystery snails. So that's the square filter. I mean, they're both doing really well. There's not enough of a load in the tanks yet to require them to be cleaned. I will show you that when that happens. And this is the airlift filter. of the three, I think I like this one the most. Just, I don't know why. It just seems to work really well. I'm quite happy with it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like this style of video, please like and or subscribe. And I said, as these things progress, I will definitely do updates on everything. So anyway, thanks again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.